That's what it is. It's a sandbox for providing method acting slash what's that called when an actor comes up with things off the top of their head? There's a term for that. It's not method acting, but there's a different term for that. Improv. Yeah, improv. Yeah, improv. Hold on, let me check if the YouTube stream's live. Yes. Also, for some reason, one of my YouTube VODs is being recommended to people on the algorithm for some reason. It has like 700 views all of a sudden. I literally don't know why. Look at this. What? Why is it suddenly exploding? I don't get it. YouTube's weird. I think Cards Against Humanity is a terrible party game. There's no incentive to build funny and creative combos, and your cards just grab the attention on their own. I can agree with that. I think when a game... That's my opinion about friend slap games that try to add the humor too much themselves. It tries to add the humor itself too much, rather than providing situations for humor to arise from the creation of other players, right? That's why I think treating it like a sandbox is better than like, oh, just provide the... Because then what ends up happening is, sure, you can add some funny stuff, sure, I think that's fine once in a while, but I think if everything is just, this is the humor, it just becomes a one-off, you know what I mean? Whereas if you provide a sandbox for humor, then different people can create different humor in different situations. At least that would be the ideal, of course, right? You know, Bane. Rare weekend stream. Yep. Rare extra stream. 80 cents. Crim can finally retire. A part of me was thinking earlier, I was like, dude, I don't care for ad revenue at all. Like, I don't think it brings all that much. I should just disable all of the ads. I wonder what kind of like... But then I wonder, I bet you the YouTube algorithm doesn't recommend videos without ads turned on as much. I bet you that's a thing in their system. Delta, is this the train game? We are supposedly on a train. I think so. Saints Row, all of his jokes are funny on the first playthrough only. I've only seen Saints Row 3. Meant hearing all of them over and over again. Yeah, I think humor that is implied is just a lot more fun, in my opinion, rather than forcefully including the humor in. Having ads disabled stops all discovery and you literally never get recommended. I wouldn't doubt the algorithm works like that in some way. Like, why should YouTube recommend videos that don't make them any money? Like, I get it. It makes sense. I wouldn't blame them for that. Honestly, I wouldn't. We need to turn off that dirt noise, man. This needs to be a different sound. Anyways, the plan for today. I wonder if we can do it today. Or at least in the coming days. Very first thing is... Let's write it down. Let's open up Notepad 2. We know you like insert activity, but this has no ads. So here's a video on bubblegum. The amount of shorts that I see on YouTube that get millions of views and the amount of times I've seen that it's literally just the same clips of other channels that used it mixed in with AI clips, it makes me sick to the stomach. It is actually insane the amount of clips. Like I randomly get recommended like inspection fail clips of like house inspections. It's the same 10 clips. It's the same 10 fucking clips, and then mixed in, sprinkled in, a little bit of AI just to catch you off guard. You'll never know because the clip is only like there for like 3 seconds. Insane. Dude, where do you eat dinner? I mean, where do you live? Brother, what's next? What are you going to ask for my social insurance number? What's next? You going to ask for my passport ID? Where do I eat dinner? In my room, in my house, in my apartment. 10,000 hours, thank you. Hopefully, we'll see. What's my shoe size? What's my shirt size? What is the girth of your waist? Do you wipe with your left or right hand? I don't wipe at all. Just curious, the state? My state? Yeah, I'm all right. The state is depressed. I'm not depressed. No, I'm not. I'm curious if you're from Michigan. Yes. I am from Michigan. Detroit, Michigan. Am I a full-time indie dev? I guess I'd say so, yeah. Quota changes, and what other thing that I wanted to do? We wanted to do the slight little changes to quota, and oh, spectator UI mode. Spectator UI. What's some other stuff that I might want to do? Death UI, spectator / death UI. Spectator / death UI. Not enough guns and dead shit hanging on his walls for Michigan? Is that a Michigan thing? Is that really a Michigan thing? How you doing, by the way, freak? How are you? We need to talk about taking care of Unreal 6. What is there to take care of, man? What is there to take care of? Just bring it out back and, I don't know, shoot in the head or something, you know? Just it's nothing to take care of. What if we just not? We've talked too much about Unreal 6 on the stream. I just don't, you know. Maybe one day we'll make a, one day I'll make a video and I'll be like, Unreal Engine 6, here it is. Here's, just watch this video. Here's my takes. Notes for quota change to spectator / death UI. There was one other thing I wanted to do, and I can't think of it. There's one other thing I wanted to do here, and I forgot what it was. UE6 title stream, but that's just you deving a Godot. That is peak trolling, and I love that. But the thing is, the reality, Swan, is that like you would get more viewers by having Godot in the title. That's the reality. Yep, Skyrinx. You also plan to have a button inside the engine room that locks the door so no one can come inside. I thought about it. We've thought about it for sure. like a thing that you slide and then it closes, it locks up all the doors in the case that a monster's like outside. It really reminded me a lot of like, well, technically Lethal Company has the same thing, but it also kind of reminded me a little bit of like Five Nights at Freddy's. Unreal 6 sounds like it embraced the AI slop. Oh, I think it genuinely did. I think it did. That's okay. Whatever. That's fine. I just won't use it, most likely. Make a short, Krim, about the truth about UE6 and then end it before you even get the sentence finished. You have keys to lock the door, otherwise it just closes and doesn't lock it. What do you think this is, real life? No, it would just be like, maybe like a sliding lock thing or something. If we end up even doing that. I don't know yet. I don't know. Also, might need a way into each car if all the doors are locked. I think I would do the same thing as Lethal Company and Five Nights at Freddy's, where there's a limited amount of time that it can stay locked. It's almost like its own battery. And that's probably what I would do as a just in case, you know, the person inside that locked themselves inside dies or, you know, something else. Here are 10 beneficial things why you should upgrade to UE6. First off, here are 10 Listen, the people who look for that content, in my opinion, don't use the engine. Just read the changes, read the features. Also, the fucking thing isn't even out yet. It's 2 years out. Anybody making those kind of videos these days, they're performative. I love that word. We've been using that a lot on the stream lately. Performative game. Okay, notes for quota changes. Okay, so we need to do some little changes to the quota. Make the speed of train based on maintenance tasks. I'm going to delete this. This is checklist 1. This will be V2 checklist. There's this Polish guy that does random ass 3D and UE tutorials on YouTube and has no idea what he's talking about. And I've seen he made a UE6 video with the title something like, your UE5 skills just became obsolete. We should bring back bullying. What do you guys think? We should bring back bullying. I think we've lost the art of bullying. Okay, so 3-stage quota system. Third route will require the field to be topped up to continue or the players lose. Yes. No, but I don't know. With these kind of posts that are coming out on YouTube, I don't know. Real talk, anyone using AI slop things? How are models? How is code? I think the biggest one that I'm seeing that is widely used by even people that don't necessarily like AI is for code testing, code review to some extent. So it's like you're already doing code yourself, but you just want something to test it, or summarizing articles / whatever. That seems to be a pretty widely used one that a lot of people are using, I would say. But listen, man, if I start doing shit like that, my reading comprehension skills, they're going to start going out the window. I think there are, in my opinion, without any sort of scientific backing, I think there is going to be long-term deterioration of reading and writing comprehension skills, overusing those AI things, I would say. This is coming from a non-scientist, but here's my take. Here's my theory. Here's my theory. I decided since it did a decent job of reading my output logs for bugs, I'm allowing it at the point. And not even just you, Fist. I've seen some other people kind of use it for that kind of stuff as well. Like taking the monotonous stuff of like taking a huge log that has a bunch of fucking fluff and garbage and then kind of just filtering it and whatever and stuff. So I don't know. I just don't care for it, especially with how much it costs. One person said that they used Fable or whatever to read their code and then find bugs, and just reading the code alone cost them like $80 or something. Apparently. Allow players to dock the train into the next station after 1 to 2 minutes into a route. Allow players to fuel up the train while at a station. Currently can't. Okay. Tried using ChatGPT to help with blueprints a bit with some stuff. Now I decided to learn C++ and I gave up on this AI shit. Dude, honestly, C++ is where it's at. I think there's too much I think taking the dive into it is really good. And honestly, if you already know blueprints, I think you can get into C++ or UE C++ quite quickly. There's too many people out there that are saying, oh, it's too difficult. Yeah, it's challenging, don't get me wrong. And you can make a lot more mistakes than with Blueprint. But I think C++ is, like, I'm not even very good at it yet, but I can definitely tell it is, like, quite approachable. It's still approachable. It's just learning the syntax is a bit of a, it's a bit of a task and whatnot, but yeah. Imagine paying big corporations for things that they made by stealing stuff. It really is just like the first fucking algorithm thing came out for this shit. Like, I don't know how many years ago. I still remember when it came out and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then everybody started piggybacking on it. And then money started flowing in. And then I was like, I do hate the whole tabination thing it does. I like being able to specify scope using curly brackets. What do you mean, yeah? In verse or in C++? How long before a playtest or demo? Juan, that's a fantastic question. I don't know. Hopefully soon we do a tech test to determine that everything's working for the most part. And then, yeah, playtesting, I don't know when we're going to do full-on proper gameplay playtesting because the game's not ready yet. Oh, you're talking about Verse. Yeah, I was talking about C++. But yeah, Verse, yeah, I hope they make it so you could just do curly brackets, but I don't think I care for it. I don't think I care for it, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Talk to me in 2 years about this shit. Talk to me about it in 2 years. We're not even there yet. Oh shit, I forgot to UV unwrap that. No, whatever. Okay, so the idea is the quota we're gonna have 3 stages that we need to get through. We might need more screens, now that I think about it. C++ learning, especially UE C++, which is a lot simpler. I think, like, if you are a long-term Blueprint user, I think a lot of the knowledge is transferable. It's just about learning the syntax and writing it. I would agree, Freak. These days, with like huge structs and stuff like that, we've been writing a lot of huge structs as of late. It's honestly kind of just a pain in the ass to try to read any of this shit when, like, oh my god. Like, obviously, you know, you can do work to, like, clean this up. But I bet you I could probably... I'm sure when I learn C++ more, I could probably write this in C++ and probably have a better time in C++ than whatever fuckery I've got going on over here. I do need to get back into C++ more. Just learn C++, like, I know C++, I still choose blueprints. I think it's good to just mix the two. I think there is no, it's not white or black. There's a gray zone. It is white and black, Grim. No, it's not. Grrr. Grim unpacking crayons. So where do I draw the squiggly lines in this here C++ code? Where do I put the nodes and the lines and the shits and the whatever? Grim's been code pilled. There is a god. Mac, I've always been approving of C++. Maybe not like in my first 2 to 3 years because it was like so daunting to me. But to be fair, everything was daunting to me in my first 2 to 3 years of using UE because I was learning everything. I was trying to learn everything. How did I get into UE C++? What resources did I use? I think it was a couple Tom Lumen things that I kind of like tried to get into. A couple other little like big documentation thingies. I forced myself because I needed to like learn a couple things. And then I started using Visual Studio and I was like, God, I fucking hate this. So I bought Writer, or I paid for a year of Writer. I started using that and I was like, oh, this is actually a lot nicer to use. Writer was a big, I think, that was a big moment where I was like, oh, the tool was really making it hard to look at. Visual Studio looks like ass in comparison to Writer, personally. I didn't take the Tom Lumen course. I think there's a couple posts on like just basic C++ stuff. And then I obviously read some other stuff about Gaz, and that had some C++ code. So I looked at that and read that a little bit. But don't get me wrong, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not, you know, there yet. Okay, so I'm trying to think of how I'm going to structure the UI for this. The more C++ I learn, the more I lean into something faster. It takes forever to get stuff done with C++. My biggest problem is just the whole having to rerun the entire engine stuff. That part's very kind of like annoying, especially for me with blueprints where I like to iterate and kind of test very quickly. Like I do a bit of code, test very quickly. A lot harder and a lot more annoying to do that with C++. A lot more time consuming, unfortunately. even with hot reloading. Hot reloading isn't going to help me here. Because a lot of the times I edit the header file, so... yeah. Good news, Krim. Verse will fix that problem. You're on the list, pal. You're on the list. I'm not going to say what kind of list, but you're on a list. It's a list. No one knows what it does yet. It's just a list. Fuck is this? Oh, I see. Where are the oh, I see. I see. Aha. So we need mid lines, lines in the middle here. That will define the points at which we're at. Oh, dude, but what if the train moves from each point so you know which section you're at based off of the train? I was thinking of doing an arrow, but the train could be cool. Ah, shit. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. I'm sure they're making verse so shit, everyone will just use AI to write this stuff. I'm tired. I'm tired, Jim. I'm tired about all this. All this talk about AI and all this other stuff. You know what? I don't care anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't care no more. This shit got me tired. I don't fucking care no more. I just want to make games. I just want to make video games. I don't care about your AI mumbo jumbo. I don't care about this shit no more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit of a weird one, but whatever. What am I up to now? We are... Wait, are you asking me, freak? Never mind. Never mind. Why do I even bother? What about using light bulbs on the screen? So you have the ones already reached are lit yellow and the current one is green. The unreached ones aren't lit, so it's a similar visual link to how older trains do it. Shit, that would be good too. But I like using the screen. Everything's kind of like this analog. Well, I guess bulbs would be quite analog in a way, wouldn't they? Why is this screen's UI 3D? It's a lot cheaper to use mesh than a widget or render target. So that's why it's mesh based. Really? Yeah, widgets can be pretty expensive. I'm sure you could probably turn off tick and all this other stuff, but I don't know, I just did mesh. I'm moving meshes instead of a UI. It is all just like animated. So you see this big bar here, the UV unwrap is going from left to right. And we have a masked texture that just goes, so it fills it up. And then this one does it in inverse. Just a channel. How do I learn this game program? I spent too long on it and I will not be using AI for it. You just try to recreate another game and you just do your best to learn stuff. Listen, suffering is part of the job. Suffering means there's something to learn. And then as the suffering becomes less suffering, then guess what? You're getting better at it. I'm amazed to see you're programming unafraid of hackers. I could program 2 lines with internet on, seriously? If you don't use your computer like a fucking gorilla, you should be fine. You should be fine from random hackers. As long as you're not slamming the keyboard and then, like, I don't know, doing weird shit, I think you should be perfectly fine. Yeah, but light bulbs could be kind of cool. I could see that being cool, but I like I like using the same UI because I think if we do two different things, it might be confusing. Suffering is progress and progress is suffering. Just learning things, especially something that's very difficult and outside of your scope, is a very uncomfortable thing. That's just part of it. I think for me, I always recommend to people that are first starting out, the very first thing I would recommend if you're using Unreal or whatever, make an interaction system. That's my first thing that I would always recommend to people because you can scale up. It can become slowly harder. You know what? I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down in the Crimson Unreal Manual. I'm gonna write it down. I don't know how to write this. Dear Lord, you need to put the cum on the public internet. Don't worry, I will one day when it becomes more fleshed out, because right now it's not fleshed out. Go from pressing a button to open to turn on a light to being able to open a door and walk through it to something more complex like an inventory system. Yeah, so interaction system I think is great because you start off with very simple interactions, like for example turning on a light, then you open a door. In the context of Unreal, you might learn timelines, you might learn physics, you might learn a variety of things, and then you go more complex, right? You go into things like a very simple inventory system where you have a few slots. Inventory system I think is a great way to learn a lot of facets of Unreal, because maybe you start doing some widgets, you learn about UI, you learn more about arrays, you learn about like creating a proper inventory system, which like you're gonna fail a few times. You're going to probably fuck it up a few times. That's fine. Start off very simple and then work your way up. That's what I would say. Anyways, this is technically released. You guys can technically go to this site. But it is like very, 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 very bare bones. Extremely, 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 extremely bare bones. Like I still have a lot of this is like not finished yet. All of this is like work in progress. But yeah, if you're using Unreal, my recommendation is to pick up this asset or any of like the big assets. Just play around with the engine. Don't like try to do any code yet. Just play around with like moving things in the scene and shit like that. I think that's fun. It makes it fun, you know? You make learning a bit of, it becomes a bit fun. Inventory something has no bottom, you can overcomplicate it very fast. But if you start with some like simple stuff, like very bare bones basic, even you don't even have to go with an array. What if like an interaction system that just attaches an item to your hand and then you can drop it? You know, that's at least a very beginning thing where you might not code it right the first time. It might be very sloppy code the first time, but at least you're coding. At least you're doing stuff. That's the reality is you're not going to get it perfect the first time. I don't understand. You know what I mean? I think there's too much conversation out there and discussion about doing things perfect the first time. Nah, man, just get in there and just fuck up. Just mess up. Make a ton of mistakes. It's fine. By you making the mistakes, then you learn from it. That means you experience the mistake and you understand what you did wrong, not what someone else did wrong, and then you don't understand why is it wrong. Because that's a big problem, I think, in the space is when you do something, you don't know what you did wrong, but you're being told not to do it. Because so many people out there try to teach, but they're not good teachers. Including myself. I'm just a guy. Anyways, so we need to add 3 bars in here to indicate that it's like a 3-stage quota. Or we could do the 3 bulbs. Oh, man, I don't fucking know. If we do the 3 bulbs, we have to change this UI. You start with my students by making a cube roll around with inputs, then making a jump with line trace floor check, then yeah. No, that's good. That covers a bunch of stuff. I don't usually like to tell people what they should create. I usually just, you know, people should create what they want to create. I just usually recommend inventory system. I think is a good, easy one because it can scale up and it's a very common thing that's, you know, added in a lot of games. A lot of games have interaction systems at its core, right? So that's why I usually just recommend that. But you know, the thing is, there's going to be people out there that's like, I want to make a racing game. So it's like, how do you tell someone, how do you get that person to get started on something that's quite complex by nature? They're not going to be inspired to make Tetris because it's at all not interesting to them. So it's going to be, you know, just make an MMO easy. That was me. I was that guy. I'm trying to think. I like the idea of the bulbs, but I don't know how it's going to look in the scene. I also want to change it. Oh, great. This is this text is applied. Why did I do that? But yeah, I think that's a good process though, Pete, because you kind of get into it.
Shit my pants, I did.
I apply Bezos batch.
Bezos batch. Mayor, thank you for the Prime and the Bezos batch. Appreciate it. So many MMO tutorials in UE too. That's how you get them. You make the beginners get into an infinite loop so they keep watching your videos and then you keep getting ad revenue and then you never actually propose proper results because they're going to be 100% dreamers and they're never 99% of them are going to quit and then they're going to come back to it and then you get more ad revenue. It's fucking easy. Listen, it's simple economics, okay? It's basic economics. Listen, it's basic economics, okay? Biggest motivator is making a thing you like, for sure. It's about finding something that's like a good middle ground between something you like and not something that is completely just unfeasible. That does become part of the equation, which I can, you know, it can be a tough conversation. it can be a bit of a tough conversation. It's like, yeah, maybe that's like something that's maybe a little too difficult. My first game was an Uncharted-like. My first game was an MMO RPG FPS shooter game that I was trying to make. Hey, Krim, is game ready? Yeah. 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 Need a blink. Yeah. Yeah. Making a mug or a chair is boring. I honestly think the best advice for learning modeling is to model something that's in your physical space. I think that's just so much more interesting. It's so much more interesting. You're actually trying to model something that you can literally hold in your hands. I think that goes a long way, I would say. First route, second, third. Yeah, I guess it would be 2 lines. Took me 2 years to see that it's going nowhere. But to be fair, Peak, you're Uncharted like. I bet you learned a lot in those 2 years. Like I think your first few game attempts, in my opinion, I would say my advice would be don't expect it to potentially become an actual release. Instead, use it as an opportunity for you to learn and fuck up, you know. I wouldn't take back me wasting my time. I wouldn't call it wasting my time, me trying to make those the MMO RPG FPS, you know, because I learned a lot through that process. What's the current trends these days? Extraction shooters and friend slot. The thing is with trends is it's just something that's based off of popularity, which I think can be a very flawed metric of like what a, I don't know, I guess that is a trend at the end of the day. I guess, yeah, extraction shooter or extraction game. There's one that just came out that is got out of NDA called Hunger that actually looks pretty cool. Friend slop, I guess. Incremental games, I think is a constant one. Yeah. Yeah, technically Link, but I think I'm gonna change this text altogether. I think I'm just gonna change this text altogether. Which is really annoying because I wish I still had the original text. For some reason, I don't think I do. Really pisses me off. I had to apply this fucking thing, huh? Had to make my life a lot harder, huh? Apparently this is a rotation of 100. So what we'll do here is we'll do centered. Centered top baseline, that's okay with me. We're gonna scale down a little bit. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it at the same scale. We're gonna change the font size. Inventory system is just a list, array or matrix or whatever, however items. Well, it depends on how complex of a inventory you want to do. I would generally recommend not doing that complex of a system, but Is this really the size, transform size? Isn't there a font size? No, there's no font size. I'm gonna assume this is the actual thing. Should we just call it quota? I guess we'll just call it quota. Quota, route to station, quota. I don't know. Need some, quota, routes, 5 push-ups. My arms hurt, man, from yesterday working out. And you're really gonna make me do 5 push-ups, man? Man? That's crazy. That's... Ouch. Oh my god. You know, tea leaf? Route quota? I don't know. Someone's got to make a friend slop Souls-like extraction shooter. All of the things you just said all like combat each other. Route quota. What do we call it? The route map. The route map? The... I don't know, actually. How's everyone? Doing good, Tea Leaf. How are you? Let's just export this for now. Which is the main piece? Seems like this is the main piece. I don't remember what the material was for this. I think it's just emissive. Quota is such a weird looking word. It is one of those weird ones, huh? It do be one of them weird ones. Okay, let's see here. We gotta go to... I think this is in train. Okay, so now we have the quota separated into thirds. 1, 2, 3. It looks a bit weird. I think it's the dotted lines being so small now. I feel like we need it to be like duplicated or something. I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna scale it down. I'm gonna use shrink wrap, I think, instead. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Why don't we do it like this? We'll take one piece. Not the anime. One piece. And then we'll array it. And then we'll shrink wrap it. Your ears. It's technically not straight because it's supposed to be angled. There's supposed to be a slight angle to it. Okay. Let's try that instead. Now we have a little bit more of a dotted line, which I feel like makes it look like it's a little bit larger of a thing. I got an ad. Listen, I only have so much control over the ads. There's only so much I can do. I don't run them myself. Hell, if I was the boss, I'd run no ads. I don't like the wording route quota. What if it says something like station roadmap? Yeah, I thought like route map or something, but wouldn't the display work better as a 3D widget? Yeah, but it'd be more expensive to render. Route map. Could also be road map. Wait, okay, track map. The track map. Ah, the track map. Not a road map. There's no roads. It's a track. Track map. How about rail map? The rail map. I want to buy something. I want to buy myself something in the Steam sale. Any good games you could recommend? Shit. I don't fucking know, man. I don't play games all that much. I think I was eyeballing a couple games. Was I eyeballing a couple games? What's on my wish list? Oh, Sufar is still on sale, by the way. I completely forgot about that. Sufar, 50% off. No, I think, I don't know, man. I haven't been like playing that many games, dude. I'm gonna be real. So I'm like the worst person to ask for this kind of question. It also depends on what kind of game you want to play. You know what I mean? A good one. Thank you. Good. Very good. Okay. Yeah, that narrows things down. Project Zomboid. I know a lot of people really enjoy that one. Hitman, I think a lot of people enjoy, but don't be fooled. It's not actually $3. You actually have to get the actual edition. Fuck these guys. Fuck these devs for doing this shit. You got to get, like, I think the deluxe or the normal edition. I don't even know, man. I literally don't even know.
Shit my pants, I did.
You got Kerbal Space
Damn, it
Program.
feels good.
Even with an invalidation box, like you could do a widget, I'm sure, but I don't know if I need a widget. We'll see. Mouth washing is pretty cool. Also, Rookie, thank you for the Prime, by the way. Thank you. Damn, it feels good to be a gangsta. If I ran Twitch, I'd run first-party ads, allowing other streamers to buy ad spots, promoting the channels. Brother, they did that a few times. I still remember, I think there was, at one point, an ad for like an XQC event stream or some shit. God. It was like some sort of event stream, and it was a streamer hosting it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the games are. I only play Deadlock. Listen, I have a mental instability, okay? I play a MOBA, all right? I literally don't know what kind of... It's old school RuneScape. Network map, track chart. I don't know what to write in the text here. I think what would be kind of cool is we have a little attachment to this. A little attachment that shows the bulbs. I do like the idea of the light bulbs. I think that is kind of cool. I do like the idea of the bulbs. What? Why isn't this re-importing? Hello? 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 Is this even... Yeah, it's the same... What the fuck? Oh, it's because I'm in game. There we go. Rail map. The rail map. We could also make these bulbs here actually be the... I don't know. Rail space map? Does rail map sound like something for space? I feel like the icon here shouldn't be a house anymore. It should be a like a goal sign, like a goal icon, a goal logo or something. Rail map kind of sounds like steam trains and stuff. Well, we technically are on rails, so... That's the idea, is the rail map. Also, somebody asked, what is this game about? It's a co-op survival horror friend slot kind of game. Basically, all the players are employees of like a monster train, and they have to keep the train operational and running. So feeding the generator random items that they find and surviving from monsters, stuff like that. The car and house logos are too close to the edges. Yeah, we don't have too much space. I think I'd have to move the progress bar in. You can see as we complete, as we burn stuff, we add to the fuel. Yeah, they are kind of close to the edges, eh? Yeah, like a target or a flag. Or something. Or an icon for like a deadline. Now, if we do the light bulb thing, do we do it as a separate monitor? Should it be a monitor that shows the deadline, or should it be like a very analog kind of thing? Because that could be kind of cool. It could be like on the right side there. That would also be great because it would block the players from being able to run over here, which we don't want them to do. Where do I get the sounds for my game example, the Switch/Lever sounds? Probably from one of the, like, Boom library packs that I purchased. And it'd be nice because if we put the thing on the right side here for the deadline. What's another word for deadline? Something shorter. A word that's shorter than deadline so that we can put it in a smaller thing. Deadline acronym? Is that what the word I'm looking for? EOD, end of day. No, we don't want to do a... No, not acronym. That's not the word I'm looking for. Deadline synonym? Shit. There aren't really... Due date, curfew. Yeah, I guess deadline is the only way to really put that there. Yeah, target or curfew. Yeah, I guess those could, yeah. Boom. Ideally, we put all of that, like, indicator stuff straight on the screen. What am I trying to solve? Just thinking about some of the UI stuff that we're going to do here. So we're changing it so you don't have to complete an entire quota in one route. It's instead in thirds. So you have 3 routes to go through to get as many items as you can and feed it to the generator to basically reach the fuel requirement to continue the run, basically. So that's kind of going to be the adjustment that we're going to do for the gameplay. We just want to show where the players are currently at in their route. And I think one thing would be just maybe moving the train. I think that would be a cool one, is just moving the train. And then like here and then here. And that would show route 1, route 2, route 3. And then that's like really important. And I feel like players could learn pretty quickly about that. Maybe at the very front here, we could show like a little thing at the very front to make it even more confirmed. Thought that was what's going on. Yeah, I just got to think, how do we animate that? How are we going to animate the train? I guess we can just have that model duplicated 3 times, and then we just do another masking trick. Some more masking, baby. Some more masking. We could also make it very subtle. These little bulbs could also... This is technically just a little detail, but we could make these bulbs also work with the quota thing. Why not just move it in the blueprint? We could, but it is curved. Yeah, the thing is curved. Also, another reasoning why we can't do widgets, because it's a fucking curved screen, versus this one is not, unfortunately, which is really boring. I wish this was curved, but we can't curve it unless we want to do a render target, apply that render target to a material, and then puke. How come you gotta stand on the boiler to see the map clearly? It's just because I'm looking at it. You can still just zoom in to look at it. Are render targets that expensive? I don't think they're that expensive. It's just a lot more work. Because we are planning on doing more of these screens around the world too, as like tasks. Okay, I like the idea of just moving the train. I think that's a very subtle way of doing it. We just have to determine how do we do it. We also have something that we do. Let me open up the Steamworks page. We have something that we do in the logo, or in the current temporary logo, that I think is really fun and would be cool to reuse the idea here. We have a line that appears behind the train. It would be cool to have this line appear in here as well. That could be kind of neat. How's that more work? I'm just lazy. You guys know me. Okay. Let's just move this train. So what we could do, let me see how this actually works. I'd argue modeling it and making a mask material, whatever you want to do, is more work. No, it's not. Pfft. No, it's literally not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Would it be, if it was in thirds, would it be, this would be the cutoff point, like this? I think so. Okay, so then we have this bad boy. Can you do it through a time node and drive the time from blueprint conversion? We're going to do it like a mask material, which I've done a few times. A mask material with different stages to it. And that usually works pretty well. That usually works pretty well. You guys are going to see some fancy stuff, which isn't really that fancy. Can you even animate that? Yeah. Yeah. We just have to give it a different material. Yeah, we just gotta, you know, give it a different material. Okay, so we'll re-import. Now we see this. So what we can do, so we'll go ahead and duplicate this, call this emissive dash train route. And I have done this before. I just got to find where I did that mesh. 10 material slots for one screen. It's very likely that we switch this fucker to a widget. Let's be real. But this is a very important gameplay element, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's also not. It's not 10 material slots. It's actually just 8. So electricity is in there. Electricity does not use a custom primitive data, which is good for us. Progress amount, we're going to set it to a different primitive data index. I believe 2 should be free. Okay, 0 is being used. Two should be fine. Did I get hired? Yeah, I hired myself. Yeah, I hired myself. I put myself in the job. Didn't I delete this? Did I delete the wrong thing? Which one did we duplicate off of? It was a test material progress bar. Okay, maybe I didn't delete it. Maybe I just selected it. Is it truly a map or just progress though? Well, it's technically a map. The train moves in one direction, so it's technically a map. If you think. Any interview tips, Grim? You're asking the wrong person for that. You're asking the wrong person for that. You are asking the wrong person for that. You got hired though? I listen, man. It's called nepotism. I don't know what to tell you. Self-nepotism. It's a very strong thing. I gotta remember if I did this system. Yeah, I did. I did. I did indeed. We did this exact grid system for the green emissives on the Fusebox light grid. What? Hey. Grab that, grab the saturate. Close this, go away, close that, go over here. Bada bing, go in here, saturate. In we go. Wait, hold on. Actually, can we please reopen that? I made a mistake. That is hooked up to the light index. Okay, so that becomes this new thing. And then we're going to multiply. This gets multiplied by electricity. This is the emissive color. This will be the mask. This will go into electricity, no problem. Progress amount. Okay, and then we can put that in opacity mask. Unfortunately, because this is custom primitive data, I believe we don't see the default value because default value doesn't fucking work anymore. I don't know. Someone must have broke it. Huh? Texture coordinates is going to 1. Let's go to 0. We need 0 coordinate index, not 1. That should make them all disappear. Yep. And then in here, we'll go to the primitive data, and we should be able to at least test this out. I also, I'm going to set this to primitive data index 1 because I don't think we need 2. How many years have I been working on / with Unreal? Like 12 years or something? Something like 12 years. Unfortunately, editing this in here does not work. I don't know which Unreal developer fucked up, but it is what it is. Now you have to test it through here. So route index 0, the train is nowhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the beginning. There you go. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. It's a bit confusing though, eh? Because the progress bar shows how much fuel. Whatever, don't overthink it. Whatever, don't overthink it. How the fuck? Here, I'll show you. So, the material. So this material so over here with the texture coordinate, it splits it off into 3 segments. Vertically. If we change this multiply to 6, we could do 6 segments if we want to. But we're doing 3. Then in here we have an if statement that basically will select the specific point at which we want. So 1 is the beginning, 2 is the middle, and then 3 is the third one. 0 is just nothing. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. Don't make me explain what modulo does and all this other shit. Listen, listen. That kind of math when it comes to material editor, pff, you think I made this myself? Maybe parts of it. Parts of it were me. Other parts were probably some random guy on YouTube. What are the constants for A plus B and shit? So this is an if statement. If A is more than B, it's going to be 0. If A is less than B, it's going to be 0, which means the value is going to be black coming out in those areas. If the A is equal to the actual value, so this giving us the thing, then it'll be 1. So that's how we get that black and white mask from there. Modulo is literally the remainder of what couldn't be divided. Shake my head, Krim. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever, man. Nerd. Okay, all right. Over here, we're gonna use a modulo here, actually, very funny enough. We need to get the route index and do a modulo of this with 3. I believe that should give us the correct value. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we need to do division with remainder. I don't know. We might have to do a -1 or a +1. Knowing Krim has made money off a game makes me much more confident in my ability to do so. I think the general public in game dev space really, like, is doom and gloom about the whole shtick of, like, making games, but, like, I don't think it's that hard. You just have to be kind of smart with it. All right, it's working. Obviously, the quota system isn't correct, but we're going to change that today. That's our goal. So then we go to the next route, and then we teleport to the station again, and it should go to the next... Do I have to do a modulo of 4? Where the fuck am I? Okay, next. Yeah, baby! This is probably not correct, though, because, like, once we proceed... It needs to go to the very beginning again? I think we want to do divide with a remainder. I think we do want to do divide with remainder. Remainder is the value. I could be wrong. Let's try it again. Okay. Next up. Uh-oh. I guess it would be 4, huh? In theory. Yeah, I guess it would be 4. That or we don't do a +1. And we do a +1 on the remainder rather than the dividend. What do I cooking up in Unreal right now? So our quota system right now, it works off of, you have to feed the generator up until from this point to the very end, right? So you basically have to finish the quota before you can continue. What we're doing now instead is we're making it so you can basically end a route whenever you want to and dock at a station earlier, as long as you're, like, you know, gathering items. That's up to you. And then you basically have 3 chances. So this is where you start, and then you go into the next station, and then the next station, and then this is the final one where it's like, okay, once you reach this point, you better have the quota or else you lose, basically. So we're kind of changing up the goal a little bit, which I think makes it a little bit more open, allows players to explore a bit more. Yeah. It's Dread Hunger on a train? Well, not really, because Dread Hunger is a PvP game. But I guess it kind of is, right? Because you go out, you gather items, you bring it back to the ship. I guess it's kind of a similar respect, but it's like everything's linear. Okay. I don't know if I like where the train is. I feel like the train should be at the very end, and it's like, or maybe it disappears at the very end. Maybe we do want it to disappear at the very end. Yeah, maybe we do want it to disappear at the very end. So maybe we do a divisor of 4, which should give us that 4th one. Oh, but that doesn't make sense because then the route. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it! I think we need a custom system for this, actually, like an additional layer. So when you reach this end point, because we want it to disappear until you begin the next route. Wait, that worked? Wait, what? No, that's not supposed to work. Wait, hold on. That's not supposed to work. That's not supposed to. It's not supposed to do that. What? What? Huh? Okay. So when we reach the very end, like this is like, okay, you need to fuel up the train. Then you can continue. We technically need to add one additional layer to this. Um, route index starts at 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 becomes 0, but then it's plus 1. Shit, now I'm thinking about it, actually, instead of the train being at the very beginning here, we should actually put it midway through for each route. That makes more sense. Right? Doesn't that make more sense? Do I have Python installed or something, Krim? No. Why? Why do you ask? I usually run stuff like this through an idle or something and just fuck with the value so I can see the output right away. I didn't even know you could do that. I actually think we should move, now I think about it, we should move the train so it's midway through so it shows which route you're in, not at which stop you're in. You know what I mean? I think that makes more sense. So we should move all of these. I think by scaling it, by the way, I think I'm technically shrinking the train. I think I'm shrinking the train model a little bit. So all of these should be at in the middle, in between the lines. I feel like that makes more sense because then it shows where you're at. Yes. Yes, man. Yes. Me like. Oh yeah, I like. Ah! I spawned inside the furnace. Just print the values. This isn't a value thing. This is more. We need to add something to the code. We need to add a select. The route index only increases every time we push the button. When getting into a station. So for this to work, if I want the train to disappear while we're at the final station, then I need to add a select or something in here. Let's do this. Yes. Ah, fuck. I gotta check if we're in a if we're in the station. But that means I gotta cast the game state. Whatever, fuck it. It's gonna return true anyways, but station. If this is equal to 1 and does not equal none, if true, 0. If false, do this. So we shouldn't see the train until you begin the route. Okay. There we go. There we go. Teleport. Then we're at the next thing. Okay. Then we begin this route. All good. So this is our second route. And then we have our third route. And we appear at the third section. This is going to be the third route. Okay. Yes, man. Okay, and then from here, in the final section here, yes, man. The fuck was that? Something blew up. The landmines went off. What the hell? So what would be really cool here is maybe a little text that shows, hey, this is your final last chance to fuel. Final chance. That could be good. A little text there. What are you guys talking about in Twitch chat? Just looked up and can't play Dread Hunger anymore. Didn't know that. Yeah, that game got eviscerated. I think it was getting DDoSed by... Yeah, it was getting... I think it was getting doxed and DDoSed and like attacked. Do you recommend getting into using Blender as a developer? It depends on what you want to do, Javery. Like, that's the first question is, do you need to use it? Then yeah. I don't think Blender is like that bad to use. I think a lot of people just I really don't think it's that bad. Okay, we need an indicator that shows that it's the final route. What we could do is do this in fourths instead of... Shit. This numbering system is kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. Zero, 1, 2, 3. At station, need to fuel up to continue. When did I last watch an Unreal tutorial? It really depends. Not probably like a couple months ago, I think. Or no, actually probably like, yeah, probably a couple months ago when I needed to, when I was trying to get into state trees. The thing is, every time we begin a route, we're at like a different stage. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3. Da da da. Da. If we shift this by +1, this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a division of fourths. So every fourth is, so kind of what we're doing here. So every fourth means we're at the thing. I believe if we do division, whole, and remainder, and we do 4, and the remaining is 0. I think this is just a modulo, I'm pretty sure, but I have to look at what a modulo actually does. If this is equal to 0, then this is, we'll do a print string. We'll just put this here. We'll see if that's actually true. Sorry, I have to +1 on this, because this is a starting 0. Here we go with the elevator waiting in a call music. Wait, technically I think it would be... maybe not. Even ask GPT where things like apply button was. Oh, in Blender, yeah, they moved. If you're talking about modifiers, I don't know why they moved the apply button under a drop down. I'm pretty sure there used to be a dedicated button that was just there. Listen, this is my problem with Blender. They do some half-assed shit because free open source software and fucking no one questions it. You must approve of the overlords making all of the decisions. Okay, so now it's saying end of route, fuel up. End of route, fuel up. Wait, is this activating every single time? Why is it? Huh. That's sending a tick every single time. Control A is for applying rotations and transforms, not for applying a modifier. Control A, select all in every system ever. I switched it to just hitting A. Control A also works if you hover it over the modifier. Oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 I'm not using that. No, 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 no. No. Not happening. Okay, we're gonna do something little wacky. Okay, so right now all of our UVs are set up in thirds. I'm about to do something crazy. We're gonna set it up in fourths. And the reasoning for that is I want to put a text in here that only appears when you're at the fourth station. And then, yeah, so we are getting, okay, yes, yes, sure, you can say it. Yes, maybe we should have turned this into widgets. Okay, yes, yes, maybe this should have just been a fucking widget. We could have done so many more things. Yes, I understand. Yes, you're right. You're right. I don't care. The UI is actually meshes? It is, it is. It is. It do be. Wait, no. Wait, no, I don't want this. No, wait, no, I don't. Wait. Um. Do I build everything only using Blueprint? Why not try C++? I'm just too slow when it comes to C++, and especially for something like this where it's like quick iteration and I gotta go in and out and quickly test if everything's working. I just prefer Blueprint. Even if I knew C++, I think I'd prefer Blueprint for concepting this. Do I use the auto format Blueprint plugin? Nah, I just kind of do my own thing. I just kind of set it all up myself. I like aligning things. It's a nice time killer. Okay. So then once we teleport once more, the train should disappear and should in theory be value 4. Yes. Then once we continue the route, then the train should reappear at value 1. Let's see. Please hold. I know what the problem is, I think. I got it last week, to be honest, it's a game changer in blueprints. I kind of like organizing stuff myself. You know, once in a while, whenever I do it, which is, you know, not often, but... Okay, let's go. All right, next round. All right, now, when we push the button... No, when we teleport next, then we're at the train, okay? All right, so here we go. Then we're at the no train, 0 train. Disappear, we show big text. End of line, fuel up. Okay. Then when we push the button again, the train should reappear at the very beginning right here. Bah, yes. Yes. But does it work on an infant... Oh wait, no, the button doesn't appear, I forgot. Okay. Now we're going into a loop. We're going into the loop, okay. Very good, we push the button again. How long did we just spend on positioning a screen element? Listen here, fucker. When's the last time you got stuck on a bug for like 4 hours and then you found out it's actually the simplest thing? It was just a fucking semicolon in one line. It was probably yesterday, I'm sure. Wait, guys, I don't think this is right. Wait, guys. Guys, I don't think this is right. I don't think that was correct. I love how when you click watch this value, it probably like won't work. Yeah, probably won't work. Grim, what should I work on? I've got a few games going. I've got the Super Mario roguelike single player game, then I've got a bomb defusing co-op game. Work on the shooting game, man. I don't know. Work on the roguelike. What do you want to work on? That should be your question. What do you want to work on? You know what I mean? What do you want to work on? The remainder is 2. Then it should be 3. I'm also going to watch this value. So we have 3. And then we have 0. Wait, no. Now we have 0. God, this is the stupidest fucking system in existence. Why did I do it this way? Now we have 0. Correct. This is at the end of the line. So why is it that when we... go into the next route, remainder is 1. Oh. I think it's 1 value ahead. Or 1 value behind, sorry. So this is correct. And then once we push the button again, it should in theory disappear. But it does not. Because it's currently 3. What's the current route index? Can I watch this value? So the route index is 6. But then when we plus this, it's just 7. Which makes sense. This becomes 7. Like, this becomes 0. Is there any reasoning why I'm using a 4-value system for this? Grim, I think you're making this far too complex. Why are you using modulo? Motherfucker, don't tell me what to do. The problem is our route index should, in theory, just like contain every time we click the button. Like every time we get to it. Right now, how it's done is really fucking stupid. The route index will set itself. Nah, whatever. I don't even want to draw it. Whatever. Fuck you. I think I should be able to just check if this is 0. Yeah, you know what? Just do this. This is equal to 0. This, and this is not equal to 0. That means this is the end of the line. Okay, that should work. Okay, train is right here. We begin the route, no problem, all good. We begin the route, blah, 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 blah. Teleport to station, we end up at the next one, then we go here, push the button. Let me push the button. I might have pushed the button too quickly. I might have broken some stuff. It's very possible. Okay, now we're here. And then the next time we end up at the thing, that's when we have to fuel up. Zero. So end of route, fuel up. Cool. Great. So we'll put a little text here. It shows, hey, you're at the end of the route, fuel up. I don't know, that's why I asked. I don't know, I would do the super hard roguelike mode. Or super hard roguelike single player game that you've got going on. Because I think people, I don't know, I feel like people kind of want an action game that's like that. And then we begin again. Now, the real test is, does it work when we go around again? The whole point is looping this. Because it's kind of endless. Sort of, not really. I don't want it to be endless. I kind of want an end point. Or at least like a on-paper end point, and then players can choose to go endless if they want to. I feel like that's the best middle ground. You can allow players to keep going if they want to. And then we're at the end of the route again, and then we should be able to continue again. At the first route. Route 1. Okay. Guys, we're in. Now, we just need some text. So the text, what should we write for this is your like final chance to fuel up? Should we just write end of line? End of line, fuel up? Fuck it, whatever. End of line. Or end of rail. End of route? Nah, end of line. So here's my question. How do you UV unwrap text without applying the text? Guys, how the hell? Technically, it's end of the line. Yeah, whatever. English mathematician guy. Why wouldn't you want to apply the text? Just in case I want to change the text. I guess I could always duplicate it and then just hide that. I gotta unparent it though. Hide it, and then this one we can apply it. And then we'll just do a little bit of this. It's not the end of the line if you go again. Well, it's end of line as in like There we go. Optimize geometry? Yeah. Yeah, probably could be better. Oh, I applied the wrong material. Okay. How'd you survive in the Unreal Engine industry if you were in India? I think the real question should be, how would I survive if I was in India in general? I don't know if I could, because it's pretty hot over there. I think that's the first question. It's not even with Unreal. I don't know. I think the heat would kill me the first thing. I don't know. That's a very difficult question to ask. That's like asking, how would I continue game development if I ended up in heaven? I'm not sure how I would be able to, there we go. End of line, fuel up. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know about you guys. I think that looks okay. Maybe. Why is this tech not being placed in game again? I don't know. I'm trying new things. Trying new things. It's been pretty hot here in Canada. Like, it's been 30 degrees lately. But I think it's starting to get cooler now. No, it's not. That was a joke. Hear this? Localization? Ah, fuck localization. They'll learn a little bit of English. No, don't worry. They'll figure it out. Yeah, we might end up turning this into a widget, all things considered. Anyways, for testing though, I think that's fine. End of line fuel up, I think it's fine. I think we could do a much better job of it, but... yeah. Yeah, we'll probably change a bunch of this stuff, but for testing, for our current prototype-ish thing, it's fine. We are going to need probably a separate screen, by the way, for the health of the train. I don't know where we are gonna put that. Because the train will have a health bar. That would be one of the adjustments that we make. Everyone will actually ask, how is the train? They're not going to be asking, where is the train? They will genuinely be asking, how is the train? Are we about to blow up? I think we could put it on this thing. Putting it on that thing could be kind of cool. What if the container has a visual representation of things are going poorly? Like, if the train is really close to exploding, what if this shit starts shaking? It's, you know what I mean? Starts shaking, steam comes out of it and shit. It's like, psh, psh, psh. That could be kind of funny. But Krim, I just had a genius idea. Okay. All right. Yeah, listening. What you got? What you got for me? I'm listening. You know those tubes you talk through at playgrounds? No? Connect random carts with those for long-range VoIP? Do you just hear muffled screaming until you get up close? Well, listen, man. We already have the fucking intercom radio thingy. We're gonna also have radios. About it to look it up. The word terminus is more globally understood to mean the end of the line, so no need to localize. I feel like that would just confuse people. They'd be like, terminus, fuel up. The first thing I got to figure out is sending VoIP into, like, the intercom is already like hard enough to figure out on a technical basis. Sending VoIP into specific listener locations, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do that. Like, so we'd have to figure that out first with this, and then we'll be able to figure out the walkie-talkies, right? And then, you know, if anything, we could, you know, have voice travel through tubes or some shit. I don't know. Your fancy idea of shit traveling through tubes. You wouldn't actually simulate the audio going through the tube, just so you're aware. I understand that. However, the reality is that the base system of the VoIP system runs off of a very simple attenuation system, and I don't really know how to make that voice appear in different places beyond just the component location. Through, like, tubes, for example, or whatever. I don't mean simulate the audio going through. I just mean, like, how do we make it so that becomes a listener position that allows players to hear things beyond from just the base component location. That's what I mean. Okay, so this is good. We just have to put the system in. And make it work with a quota. And make it so you can teleport to the next station or proceed to the next station without actually finishing the quota. So that's going to be the other next point. We've done some of the UI. We do have to work on the train health as well, so we might as well kill two birds with one stone. Where do we put the train health? I was going to put the train health on the same display, but I think that should be focused on the route, the quota. I feel like something else should be doing the health of the train. Maybe, did we plan on having the health of the train as its own section on the front of the train? Let me see. Health state. Ah, fuck. Train health could be a permanent HUD element. I think I would do that through a something in the front of the train. I want to do minimal HUD stuff on the screen. I want the player HUD to just be pertaining to their own, like, state. This is what Google AI gave me. Great, here we go. Use the set audio listener override node in your character blueprint. This pulls the location orientation from the remote radio object and forces the listener to hear the voice originating from that position. So, hmm. Yeah, I think we should do it as a front dashboard thing, showing the health of the train. Or we could put the train health here on the Umbra OS, on the train monitoring, because it is technically, the train health is affected by the tasks. So we could put it here. It could just be in the corner or something. Oh, there would be a cooldown slash limit on how much you could speak in the intercom. I think it would just be hilarious. Someone pushes the button, hey guys, and then explosion in the background, and then the fucking thing cuts out. Kind of like how they do it in SCP. I think SCP does it really, really funny. Oh, secret lab. You mean secret laboratory? Yeah. That is the SCP mode. Yep. One of the big things I want with the VoIP listener thing is that the button, when you push the button, it's not just listening to the VoIP. And we were able to confirm this. I found a way of recording actual audio from this location. I think there's an actual thing. I just got to figure out how we do that in replication. We can record, we could push a button, it could start recording in this exact location, and it could listen to everything. So multiple people could speak into the microphone. A monster could appear in the room and then start making noises, or like an explosion goes off. I think that just makes it so much funnier. Just imagine you hear the intercom and all of a sudden an explosion goes off, and that's when it cuts out. Yes, man. Yes, man. Yes, man. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Womp womp. No, it would be like a that should be the thing. And then when the ending thing, it could just be like a radio cutting out sound, or like the sound of like a phone clicking. All right, train health. Train health. I think this is the best spot to put it. It is a bit small, though, for something so crucial. Umbra top left. That's what I'm thinking. We just put it up there. The thing, however, right now, the train state is just a negative progress. Impact from maintenance tasks and various other negative modifiers that increase the amount of quota required to complete the route. So I think we would completely change negative progress. The negative progress system would be completely changed. It would no longer be a thing. Instead, negative progress becomes train health. Wait, we already have a variable for train health. So would negative progress just not be a thing anymore? Would we just cut it out? I guess we would just cut it out. What about health per train cart? No, I don't really want to do that because I want the health to persist within the route. So within the route, the health is going to persist. But the thing is, every time you get into a new station, the train is entirely randomized. So I think just keeping it as one simple variable, I think is perfectly fine. It just makes it easier as well. We'll have tasks that could be detrimental to the run. Those would just be maintenance tasks, though. Like the game is already kind of complex as is for a friend slop game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I want to complicate it even further. So we can delete that actually now I think about it. We don't need the negative progress anymore because we will be deleting negative progress. Need to leave space for the chaos rather than micromanagement. Yeah, we already have enough micromanagement in the game as is. I'm a little worried about that part, I will say. The game is quite complex for a friend slop game. At the core of the game, though, complete tasks around the train, survive from monsters, get items. Like that is at its core. I don't think we need to get any further than that. I think it's already quite a bit as is. I think it's quite in depth already. I think. Can you scale back micromanagement with player count? I don't know. I think if we put too much that players have to manage, I think it just becomes too much. I think by having just one universal health, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think we need more than that. I think if anything, we'll have some maintenance tasks that could cause some chaos. But again, that comes down to the tasks loop. The loop of repairing parts of the train. Okay, so in theory, we want to remove the negative progress. That being said, though, I believe that is being used in certain places. I wonder if this find in blueprints is actually going to show me where it's being used. It probably won't. I'm sorry. I didn't know your game. I didn't. I'm sorry, blueprints. I doubt. Oh, wait. You didn't do shit, actually. Although this does need to be redone. Okay, sorry. Might be. Oh. It's just showing me anywhere it can find it. Which is everywhere. Okay. You know what? I take back what I said. I was about to compliment you, and you didn't deserve it. So, fuck you, Unreal Engine. Okay, so... train health 100. Yeah, that's fine. 0 speed. Yeah. Train state tick. Negative progress. Okay, so in here, we need to cut out this and just put quota requirements. Here we go. There we go. All right. Next up, negative progress. Calculate negative quota. We do not care for this anymore because we are removing this system. Again, removing this system. Goodbye, negative progress. It was nice knowing you, is what I would say. But you were kind of a boring mechanic that didn't matter that much, so. Train health will be so much more interesting, especially based on the fact that it persists across the world. And the longer a maintenance task is active, the more it damages the train. So I think that will be interesting. View references, technically, but it's a struct, so it's a bit of a weird one. Is health going to do something like slow down the train so the more damage the longer it takes to get to a station? I think health is going to do a couple things. One, if it reaches 0, the run is over because the train basically explodes. 2, I think it'll make the train shake more. So that'll be a mechanic that we end up putting in where like things will start shaking. You know, whatever chaos might occur. Maybe by having lower health, maybe more maintenance tasks start appearing. Maybe at a certain point, fires will start occurring. We had that whole thing that we made, and we still don't spawn the fires. We have a maintenance task for like a fire occurring. Where even is it? Right here. And then that requires you to pull out a fire extinguisher and put that fucker out. But these fires don't even spawn yet, so I think that would be something that could start happening, is like fires start occurring. Grim, why is the fire extinguisher horizontal? Too many questions. Too many questions. It's not question hour right now. Can you please wait until question hour? I don't know when question hour will be. You know, let's burn. How's it going? Am I going to change the fire extinguisher particles? I probably will a little bit to something a little bit more fun, but yeah. Okay, so now I want to go to my structs. Let me close all this shit. I want to delete the negative progress because we're not going to be using it anymore. So I want to try to at least keep up all of this stuff so that we're... Yeah. Quota requirement, quota progress is being used, train health is now being used, train speed. It's being used, but it doesn't really do much. Path distance, I think is being used. Time spent in route is being used. Yes, route index definitely being used. Okay, we should be fine. Yes. This will make it so the maintenance tasks become a larger priority, which then means we're going to have to probably balance things to make it easier for people to know when a task is nearby them. I think that might require us to put the whole map mechanic in the game. That whole map system, like a little player map that they'll be able to pull up to see where like things are broken. I think we might have to do that because I don't think having to go to the very front of the train to look up where issues are is not very fun. Would be cool if the fire extinguisher had mesh particles like the glue cannon in Prey. That could be fun. That could be fun. I think right now they're just 2D circles. Give them kids some iPads. Yeah, exactly. Literally some tablets. Yeah, I've seen the Prey goo cannon. You can even walk on the goo cannon if I remember correctly. Only give them one so they fight over it? I don't know, dude. Yeah, we could turn it into a mesh. I don't know how expensive it would be, but one big issue right now with the fire extinguisher actually is when you spray and then look away, it disappears, unfortunately. Which is kind of boring. Would be fun to cover your friend in foam. You can. I don't know if it attaches to them. We've done it in static, like in a static game, but I don't think I've ever tested it while they're moving around. But you can technically cover them in it. I think the thing I like about it being in 2D is it's kind of semi-translucent. Whereas if we do it with 3D, I don't think we can make it translucent. Why do his eyes do that? Zoom in real life? Yeah. Can you do 2D games with widgets though? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you could. We should put a little, you guys remember that Google little game where you literally just, you're like the dinosaur and you just jump over like cactuses and shit? We should just do that. You hit a secret sequence of buttons while having the tablet out? It's still a thing, Krim? Whatever, man. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Does the fail state of the game trigger an instant loss, or is there like a time window of impending doom? I think we would do like a fun, all of the lights in the train turn red, alarms go off, and then it explodes. But it also could be really funny if the train health reaches 0. Like, we'll show an indicator of things going really bad. Like, sparks will start going off in the entire train. You know, all that kind of stuff. And then once it reaches 0, we could just do a complete just explosion... fade to black, or not fade to black, cut to black. That could also be pretty, that could be pretty funny as well. Everything just cutting to black. You just hear the explosions and then just cuts to black. Would make things a little bit easier for me as well. Go towards third person, so I'm gonna find a way of seeing all the ragdolls explode out of the train derailing. That's the thing. If I would like to avoid having to do that much scope, and instead, I think it'd be very effective. Just you hear explosions going off everywhere, and then the cut to black. All right, so I guess we got to work on the train health now then. We do have to make the quota actually work. We'll do that soon. Right now it's still doing the thing where you have to feed everything and whatnot, which is kind of shit, but that's okay. You know how the ending of Animal Party goes with the pictures? I don't know. Animal Party? We could do that with this game. I want to do something where players in their onboarding, which is basically the tutorial, everybody has to take a picture of themselves, and they can obviously update this when they update their cosmetics and shit. But I would love to make it so these pictures could appear in like in loving memory of, and then it shows everybody's ID appear. That could be so fucking funny. I like how the Ice is coming on. I think the texturing and posturation is working well. I think it's definitely coming along. It definitely is coming along. I'm a lot happier with the look of this train. I think the lockers need some work still, but... Yep. Oh. Hey, peace out, Tweak. Have a good one, man. Rest well. Do not walk in the landmine. Do not walk in the landmine. You should make all these chairs physics objects? Brother, are you fucking crazy? Are you trying to make the server explode? I would love to, don't get me wrong. But I don't know how that would bode well with Unreal's physics and replication. Is it that bad for performance? I don't know. To be honest with you. I'm sure there's probably ways of optimizing it. So like when it's sleeping, it just sets its location and doesn't keep ticking or whatever. But I don't know. I still, to this day, don't know how bad performance is going to be with all these items that are constantly ticking. So I don't know yet. We're going to have to find out. Landmines, great addition. Fantastic. Incredible. We just have to stop them from, you know, spawning in the walls. That'd be a good change. Huh? Did I make the train bigger? I did. It's 2 times wider. It is 2x wider now. Feels a lot more playable now. It is a very, very positive difference. The game feels a lot more, like, explorable. Feels much more interesting to explore, that's for sure. So we solved the exploration issue, but now we just have to make tasks appear more often. Stuff like that, I think, is going to be very good. You can track 30 items on a train. Krim, you got this. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we could... I would love to make this stuff, like, movable and whatnot. We'll see what we can end up doing. I got work to do. I ain't got time to babysit these damn rats in my damn train. Get out from under there. So that's the current system. Everything is all in one route. We're going to change all of that, which I think will be a very positive impact, because then it allows players to explore a bit more. Now, that being said, if they... Yeah, it allows them to explore a little bit more. I think it'll be a lot better. And they just have to send items through the delivery system if they want to send some items up here without running back to the front. I think that'll be good. I think. Do rats just randomly spawn? Yes, they're considered a task, so you'll see them on the screen here. We do have to make items spawn in these trash bins. I think exploring the stations, I think, is also, like, I think a big part of the game, in my opinion. Continue to spawn them until the player clears it. Rat's Nest could be interesting. This is like watching the Canada versus. This is like watching the Canada versus Morocco match, or Monaco, or whoever it was. I forgot which country it was. Ah! Oh! Just like watching Australia breakdancing. Do they do breakdancing? Anyways, yeah, very, very happy about the station. I think we could do a lot of gameplay stuff here. I want to do a little meta thing where, as the players learn more about the game, each station has its own. I know this is super scope creepy. If we do get to this point. I would love to do a little Lethal Company thing where the route is its own, like, thing of job, but each station having its own randomly generated dungeon as well, if you want to go through it, could be really interesting. And this one could be like a sewer system. Going through like a sewer network. That is very scope creep, don't get me wrong. It's extremely scope creep, because it's like double the game. But, can you imagine? You unlock that shit and find that, and then find out that every station has its own, like, dungeon that you can go through. Crim doing scope creep? Never. And then the dungeon could have, like, more items as well. I think that could be really interesting. But of course, extremely scope creep. An idea for down the line. Okay. So let's put the health on the on the display here. Put it on the display. Put it on the display. Okay, how do I change the size of this? Am I gonna have to wrap this with a scale size box? I don't like putting a width in here because, well, actually no, we're safe on this because it's not an on-screen thing that could be like changed size-wise. So actually, we're kind of safe on this idea. Okay, we're in the corner. Next up, the progress bar. I do want to change it so that it's a perfect rounded box. It doesn't look like a perfect rounded box though. Can I be real with you guys? That doesn't look like... You have to set the width of it? I guess we'll set the width of it, that's fine. so bar scale should be more interesting. Okay. So how should we do the colors for this? Should it be the same colors as this, or should it be green? We do a green tint. I feel like we should do a green tint of this. Let's copy this color. I'll put this above so I can at least, no, apparently I can't do that. Now I should be able to select stuff. There we go. Okay, so instead of blue, let's do this. We could also make it the actual color, like, that's fine, but I feel like it should be green. And then the background could just be, I don't know. Like that. Ideally though, we should have what's a different word for health? Train stability? Train vitality? I don't know if that matches up with train durability could be one that I think matches more with a kind of mechanical sound that we kind of want it to be. Oh, train integrity. Integrity. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I'm thinking this green is a bit weird though. Okay. Hold on though. Let's see. So this size box is set to 32. Oh, I see, because it's a right side. I kind of want to move it a bit more to the left, basically beginning where the rounded part is. I feel like that's a little bit more interesting. I think I am going to revert this back to this color though. Not a big fan of this. And then maybe instead of greenish color for this, we could do reddish tint. And then maybe we can make that blink. Cool. I feel like that's pretty big and chunky. You can tell it's there. Oh, we are using green. Yeah, maybe we could just use green actually. And then like make it gradually become a worse color as time goes on. Does seem like we're using some neon kind of colors in here. It does make me kind of maybe the text should be a different color though. Maybe that's okay, I don't know. It's such an important thing, and it's only on this one fucking computer. It's such an important like element, and it's only on this computer right over here. I think it's kind of funny. Maybe we should also probably have it like on this furnace or something. I don't know. I do think it should probably be, you know, somewhere else as well. Okay, well, now we can kind of change that a little bit. Update maintenance tasks. Train load completed. Do we have a thing in here that will receive the state of the train? No. Okay. We'll change that. We will change that real quick. Okay, train state updated. Okay, so then we need to break this, get the only thing that we need, which is train health. We're going to divide this by 100. Listen, it's a magical number. It's fine. We always know the max health, train health is 100. Actually, wait until we have upgrades, which I don't know if we will. No, I did. No, I don't think we. Nah, whatever. Well, now we need to start doing the system for the train health. Which, yeah. But it should set itself to 100, because the train health is 100. And bada bing, baby. Hell yeah. Thing is massive. The progress bar is quite big. Do we want to make it slightly thinner? Nah, whatever. Fuck it. I wonder if we want to put train integrity on the center. Yeah, whatever. Cool. This game is starting to piece together a little bit, piece by piece. I think we're starting to get to a point where I'm actually quite happy with the gameplay loop. It allows players to explore more, not as stressful, where they have to go to the front of the train, start feeding the generator. Instead, they can kind of wait a little bit until the final thing. What we should do is, what could be kind of fun, to reward players that do continually feed the generator or feed the engine and not wait until the end. There should be like goals, like you get rewarded bonus income if you reach the actual point of where you are. I think that could be a cool little award for keeping that up. I think that could be kind of fun. That could be a little thing for players, but they don't have to. If they want to keep playing the game, all they have to do is at least reach this end point once they're at the end. And the train starts screaming, pull up terrain. Is that a reference to something? I wonder if we want to make the train speed a thing. Modern aircraft. Oh. Pull up, pull up, pull up. I know what you're talking about now. I think making speed and like an actual maintenance task could be really funny. What if you go through like a bumpy area and you gotta like slow down so you don't like, well, A, so the train doesn't start braking, and B, it adds like a fun little maintenance task. But then at that point, why not just slow down the train all the time? Does that lever not have a panel associated? Yeah, I haven't worked on this in a while. This thing's kind of fucking buggy in multiplayer too. Don't worry, I'll put a panel. Don't you worry, don't you worry. Put your pants back on, it's fine. Don't throw them at me. Alright, it's fine. We'll put a bottle here later, okay? What's more important is this. This is the more important thing. Yeah. That's what's more important at the momento. Maya, thanks for the raid. How's it going? Raid message. Raid message. How's it going? Hope you had a good stream. Thanks for the raid. We're working on a co-op survival horror friend slot thingy. It's a video game. It's a video game. We're just doing some quota stuff right now. Actually, no. We're working on the train health. So as things break in the train that has to be fixed, it will slowly start dwindling away the integrity of the train. Is it really a video game yet? Listen, it's piecing together. Everything's piecing together. It's becoming like, you know when you're like following a really large Lego set and like you got a bunch of random pieces together and then suddenly at the very end at like one section of the manual, it's like put it all together and you're like, holy shit, it's a thing. It's the thing. I've never done that because I don't got that kind of money. Or an IKEA, building an IKEA furniture and then you put everything together and then you're like, holy moly, it's the furniture set that I just made. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I think this game is starting to, I had a period of time where I'm like, God, it's just not really fun. It's not really piecing together. I think we're slowly getting to a point where I feel a little bit more confident in it. Hold on. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. Also, by the way, here's the song, by the way, Jovix. It's Minecraft. Watcher. It's called Watcher. I can't wait to put more monsters in the game. I think it was either yesterday or the day before we added landmines to the game. Which I think was a great addition, because if you don't look where you're going, well, you explode. What if I put a whoopee cushion on it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Why does he's so fast? I forgot that I made his movement speed so fast. Don't walk on that. I guess it's a good thing I put the whoopee cushion there. Does that mean I can walk over it without a problem? Yes. Oh my god, I'm so smart. Until another player maybe picks that up one day. That's gonna happen, and I'm actually looking forward to that. One friend knows about the landmine, puts the thing on top of it, and then one friend doesn't know the landmine is a landmine, and then picks the item up. I think that's gonna be funny. Does the cushion prevent the mine from going off? Yes. Yeah, so there's an actuation point or an activation point. If an item falls on it, or if the landmine actually falls on its back, it will activate it. It will only it'll only go off though if there is nothing on top of it anymore. So, for example, like that. So in theory, you could save someone's life as long as they don't get off the landmine. Is that how they actually work? Yes, I think certain landmines are based off of, like the ones that you have to step on, yes. If it's like something like a claymore, that's more proximity based and that's like just instant explosion. So this, you could drop it on the floor and then basically disarm it by doing this. Okay, as long as it's not... Stop spinning! Just... Real landmines aren't as big as in this game. Yeah, that's true. We might make them a bit smaller. I think That would make them a bit more sneaky. That'd probably make them quite sneaky. Can send this through the item delivery system. Let's go see if we can find anything else in here. We have so many more monster ideas that we want to put in, though. And hopefully they all kind of add a little something special to the game. I hope. I think they will. And then adding the environmental hazards, like being able to freeze to death and stuff like that, I think that'll also be very beneficial. I think just adding this landmine has shown me that I think more hazards and stuff will go a really long way. Actually, let me just flip you. There we go. Nice. Now I don't have to worry about it, and I can walk on top of it. I do have to test if that thing works in multiplayer, though. Now that we kind of changed it up. I think it does. I think last time I tested it, it does. But... yeah. Okay, now we get back to the front of the train. God, why does he make wooden sounds? Oh, that's because he's in the wall. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. I thought he was on the catwalk. He's actually in the wall. I really want that whoopee cushion item. Oh, great. The power went out. I forgot where the electrical component was in this train. Okay, there's a guy right there. I don't know if there's a... Game dev can't even beat his own game? It's kind of hard to. Uh-oh, the werewolf is literally looking right at me. I made a great mistake. Ow! Dude, get this guy out of here, man. Now, if we had the whole stamina thing where holding the door closed on a monster eats stamina, that I think we probably would have lost there. Like, I think that he probably would have slammed the door open. Yeah, Fist. I probably will do that, I think, maybe tomorrow. I think we will do that tomorrow. Is there something outside? I gotta fix the footsteps sounding like they're coming from a different location. Because that shit always creeps me out. So, we need to start lowering the train health. If I just put this in here, it should burn. Yeah, it should finish the route. We need to make it so train health becomes a thing. Or, well, it is a thing. We just need to start lowering it. And then when it reaches 0, the train needs to explode. And then we also need the quota to not make it required to be completed to move on to the next area. And then... 5 million other things we need to do. We have many things ahead of us. Many things. But I would say we are making great progress. Anyways, I'm gonna take a little short break because I haven't stood up from my chair in a while. I'm gonna get a little snack. I'll be right back. Do you guys mind? Okay, thanks. All right, be right back. Okay, all right, yeah, thanks. Be right back. hello. All right. Wait, have you guys been listening to the train passing by this entire time? Whoops. I forgot that passes by. All right. Okay. So, next step is... Whoop! Get out of here. Notepad 2. Next step is making the train health work. I didn't know what that sound was. I thought it was coming from outside. It's a pretty good sound effect. I love the ambience of the station. And I think we can add like a little bit more ambient stuff, but I love the ambience because it's like... it just feels so cozy. It's got a cozy vibe. It do be a cozy vibe. Okay, so now the idea with the train, I believe, I don't know where I did this. I know I did it somewhere though. Gameplay. No. Maintenance tasks. Calculate negative quota. So this reads from all of the stuff. We can actually reuse this. Right? Calculate current, calculate current train damage. Sure. Yeah, sure. So all of these deal quite a bit of damage, and the train state tick occurs, I think, every second. Yeah, every second. So I think we should divide all of this by 10. Yeah, divide this by 10. Divide this by 10. We might even want to do lower than that. To be honest, but we'll just stick with that for now. So this is gonna be the current total. Oh, I didn't do the fire apparently. Although the fire is like really way too powerful. Some of these are like way too much. We're gonna have to lower some of these values. We're gonna like really want to lower some of these values. Because every second we're dealing 0.3 damage to the train. If that's on for 10 seconds, that's 3 damage. If that's on for a minute, 3 times 6, we're looking at 18 damage? Well, okay, that makes it so the tasks are really important, but I do think we should probably, yeah, we're probably gonna want to adjust some of this stuff. We'll figure that out. We also, like, that's gonna make it so important that players know where the tasks are. It's gonna become extremely important, but Let's do it. So this here will set the train health. So will be one of our things that we end up doing. Train health, we'll read from train health. Here we will calculate current train damage. It's looking a little messy over here, and I'm not talking the soccer player. Okay, so train health, total negative. This will take the train health, minus it from the negative, and then set the train health. And then that will be how the health will start going down on the train. All right, well, let's check if it works. So it should be 100% right now. No issues. But then, as time goes on and more things in the train starts breaking, please don't beat the electricity. Okay, thank you. Oh my god, that is going down so quickly already. Okay, we might have to, guys, guys, we might have to adjust these values. We might have to, it's going down very fast now. Okay, maybe, we haven't had a toilet clog in... Fuck, I don't have a plunger. Oh, this is awful. I just heard something else break, and I think it was the electricity in the car. I think... we adjust the values even further. I'm looking for a plunger. Does anybody... That's a bomb. Does anybody know where a plunger is? Well, I went from, like, ignoring the maintenance tasks entirely to, like... oh shit, we need to focus on the maintenance tasks. That's a bomb. All right. Yeah, I think we adjust. I think this might be a bit too much. I bet you the instant we go back to the train car... it's gonna be like 20% health. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, let's lower the values a bunch. Lower the values a bunch. Power outage 0.3. Fire 0.1. Toilet clog 0.1. Steam leak, I think, should be higher priority, 0.5. It's also pretty quick to do. The gear arrangement, let's do 0.7. Lever sequence, we don't have in the game yet, so we could just leave that there. Ventilation overheating, don't have that yet. Wire matching, we do have to lower as well. I think this should be 0.4. Rat infestation, maybe 0.2. Yeah. Your friend slap game has become way crazier since I last saw it. There's a lot in the game. It is a little bit, like, kind of diverting from what I would call the ideal concept of a friend swap. Like, there is a lot going on, but I'm trying to balance it in a way where it's like there's still gameplay, but allowing the players to also feel like they're in a sandbox. You know what I mean? Like, still feel like they can kind of goof around a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a big thing with these kinds of games is being able to goof around a bit. Why does it look like there's a shadow here? This is so weird. But yeah, the game is starting to piece together, like, quite quickly, actually, I would say. I was going to say slowly but surely, but I actually say this is coming together quite quick. We're getting more, like, hazards in the game. Like that. More monsters in the game, too. The tasks are now, like, a lot more of an impact than they were before. Ugh. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm actually starting to think maybe we give the player more inventory slots. Shovel. Send it. The hell was that metal noise? I think we might need coyote time. One of the big problems I have right now with the loop is that we give enough time for the players to explore, but I feel like they're not given enough time to, I don't know, maybe we need to change how the maintenance tasks spawn, and instead we place them maybe we spawn them nearby the players. That way, it's a little bit more approachable. Because right now we're going to get back over here. There's going to be a bunch of stuff broken that we're going to have to fix. That's why I think the map is going to be a very good addition. I think we need the map. I think the addition of the map makes it so we can provide a little bit more urgency to the player and a little bit more information where things are. More things could break, but not as fast. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to change the algorithm of how this stuff breaks quite a bit. We knew, like, you know, that would become a thing that we'd have to do a lot more of. But, stop! You're You're printing 5 million strings. Get out of there. How did he even get in there? Ah! Get out of there. Mason, what do the numbers mean? All right, quickly. If we can get out of here, I think we can... Oh my god. If we get out of here, I think you'll stop printing. Will he disappear? I don't think so. Nope. Wait. God, that's so sad. It's so sad. it's just... Why did he spawn there? Why did he spawn there? Oh, man. Does the train health get set to 100 when we move into the next location? It technically shouldn't. It should only set itself to 100 when we start the next route. Okay, it doesn't. Good. Question. If a game dev devs games, how many games does the game dev dev? 1. Plus. 1 or more. Maybe? No. It's a very good question. How's the slab coming along? I think it's piecing together. I think it's piecing together, bit by bit. If the game dev dev games, but the game dev is a game, how many games do the game dev how many you guys know when like those AI voice thingies like start getting into an infinite loop and then it doesn't know what to say anymore? It's like is it when TTS breaks. But yeah, I think the game is coming together. I really want to do more train cars that are kind of like this, a little bit of like a maze, and give it a little bit of a spooky vibe. Like, I kind of want to do the greenhouse. I think the greenhouse would be a perfect test subject of this. Look at him. Look at this dummy. Look at him. He can't even get through the damn door. Does every train have a set amount of cars? Will we be able to upgrade / add more cars? I think more cars will appear as you go up in difficulty, or like go from station to station. But I actually think players do not want more cars, because then that means more things that they have to repair. Or more things they have to keep track of. Which is another, you know, very good question. How the hell do we make it so players can get to the very front of the train quickly? Yeah, it is a little bit like roguelike-y in some respects. It is a little bit like a roguelike. Coming through. He's stuck. He's not getting out of there for a little while. But yeah, a big question I have to answer though is if we do the idea of increasing the train cars, we do have to find a way for players to be able to quickly get back to the front of the train in some way. Or at least travel between cars. Zip lines is crazy. There was one idea where it's like maybe you can get an upgrade that allows you to send yourself through the delivery system. You get sucked in. So there is an upgrade where you could get sucked in. This is how I record my videos. Exactly like this. Anyways. What? That's how you do it, baby. He's still stuck there. He might get out. No, he won't. Oh my god. I'm stuck. Can't catch me. 2 landmines. God, that kind of spooked me out. I can't wait until we add sound effects and everything to that, and effects and all that stuff. That's gonna make me shit myself. Maybe then I will want to quit working on this game. When the horror aspect starts feeling like a horror game. I don't feel so good. Ow. Alright. We're looking pretty good. So the train health can reach 0, but... the train does not explode yet. What if you made it an electric cart the player can sit in and drive fast to the front? We could do that. There was an idea, kind of doing the thing that, because which show had that? Oh, put it outside. We could. If the tunnel is there, they die. I feel like there has to be a price to pay for basically fast traveling, almost. Which show was it? It costs fuel for the train because it's electric. Oh, that could be interesting. It's like the one of two things. It costs currency to use. Similar to the delivery system, costs currency to use as well to send items to the front of the train. Or alternatively, yeah, it uses the fuel. It eats up fuel. And it could be kind of similar to the train system that Snow something. What's it called? Snow train. Snow something. Snow runner? Snowpiercer. That's the one. Where is it? Yeah. Their train was so big that they had a train in the train, like a rail cart that could go through the entire train. One-way trip, and then you gotta wait for it to crank real slow, like a roller coaster going up the track. before it can be used again. Only helps you going from deep within the cars back to the front. Yeah, we could do something like that. We could. Then the challenge is we would have to figure out where would we put that? If it's beneath the train, which we have space, we technically have space to put it beneath the train. We just have to figure out how do players get under there. Do I still die if I go over here? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Make it a secret? I think it would be kind of cool if you gotta like find it. Do like a little compartment in each car or something. I don't know, that could be interesting. The only thing is what if the players... Well, okay, the one thing is like, what if the players use it as a safe space? But then they're just wasting their time and letting the train, like, die. So, in theory, wasting your time in a space because you think you're safe, honestly, is not really doing anything. If they're just sitting there and letting maintenance tasks go off. The first players to discover it will spread the word, then it's randomized. I do think it's good to like still make it accessible so players can find it. We don't want like such a core mechanic to be well, it's not really core, but it is helpful in the sense of like running back and forth. Yeah, wasting the player's time is kind of in itself like not good though for the player, because that means more time is gone down and all this other stuff, right? So I found all 38 spawns for the shortcut car in Train Ride. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I think that could be kind of fun. We would have to find a space of how we would fit it underneath the train, though. I think what we'd have to do, and I know someone pointed this out before. I think the space between the rails and the bottom of the train, I think, need to be spaced out so that we have more space. Which is, I think, something we'll definitely do. But we also have to widen the tracks a bit more because, well, now the trains are much wider. The only problem with doing that is we haven't resized the front of the train, and I really do not look forward to doing that at all because then we got to change everything. Then we got to change everything, and I really don't want to change everything. What if we do this? The train at the front is the same size, but there's 4 rails. The front train just follows the middle one, but then all the other ones follow the outside ones. Should have done it when you went wide mode. The thing is, like, changing these are fine. This one has so many minute details. I really don't want to make the front train car larger. But we might have to. We might have to. We might have to. I guess that means we could put more compartments in the in the front train. We could have the cruise quarters where you could have beds, bed bunks, bunk beds and stuff. Like, I guess we could always just go and do that. We would have to restructure this whole fucking thing, though. Back to the zipline idea. No, I do like the idea of a cart being there, because I do think that's kind of cool. It's just... does point out the big elephant in the room. Couldn't make the zipline an item and they shoot it? What is this? The fucking path maker? Path creator in Apex Legends? I forgot his name. Pathfinder. Sorry, I'm not waiting on a phone call right now. We probably do have to make the front of the train larger. Oh, God. I guess if we do make the train larger, we can have rooms. We can have rooms. And then the generator could be larger. We can make the generator much larger. Make it look like a much larger space. Man, we're not doing that today, though. Not in today's stream. Not a fucking chance. Maybe not even until we have the next tech test, because... ain't no way. But I guess you might have to do that. What's the shortcut car for? The idea with the shortcut car would be its own little mini rail cart that's underneath the trains. And it would allow you to fast track to the front of the train. I don't know if we'll do it, though. We'll see. We'll see. I know for certain I want certain tasks to be underneath the train. So... yeah. Speed plus safety, but limited use. Yeah. It could also be cool that you could, like, jump off of it early to end up at a different train car, maybe, you know? But it only goes in one direction, possibly. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure out all that stuff. Having a basement in the train system could be very cool, though. It also means... no, we wouldn't be able to do that. I was thinking, like, certain areas, levels could, like, dig deeper down, so, like, we could have more height if we wanted to. But then that would cause an issue with the under rail if we had to do that. What about a cannon at the back of the train that can launch a player to the front? Like the fucking Super Mario 64 cannon? Or I guess in the sense of if it's another player that has to fire it, it would be like the cannon from... God, what's that pirate game? Fuck, it's a really good one. No, not Peak. Well, does Peak have that? No, I was thinking of the pirate game, open world-ish. Sea of Thieves, that's the one. Very fun game. Very fun game. Does Peak have a cannon? You gotta crouch in and blast off? That's funny. I mean, I don't think I could ever compete with any of these other friend slop games, especially Repo. God, they're so creative. They like make music. They have great like update vlogs and everything. I could not compete with that. Like that's, I'm not that creative. Nor would I be that confident to get like, to go to that degree of like doing stuff like that. I think that's awesome. If you suck your friend up, you can shoot them. This just sounds like a whole different thing at this point. Okay. See, now I'm at the very back of the train, or almost very back of the train. I have a full inventory. Of course, the item delivery system would be very helpful here. I'm thinking maybe we just by default give the player more inventory slots. I should also probably turn off the collision on that doorway. Did I just see the... Nope, that was a tree. That monster's gonna be a lot more effective when there's friendly players active? Exactly. That's the goal. That's the whole point of him. On his own, in single player, he means nothing. In multiplayer, when you're yelling to your dumbass friend who doesn't use his VoIP enough... Yeah. Yeah. That one friend who doesn't respond to hello. It's gonna be funny when that happens. Hey, what do you recommend for someone who's just started game dev? Oh! That's not my answer. Hold on. My answer is, I don't know, Unreal, Godot, Unity. Make an interaction system, a fun little interaction system. Or try to make a game. Try to make a game that you... Or try to recreate a game. That's also another one. Wait, what's the train health at? It's probably 0. By now. Oh. Not even close. Okay, that's good. Because remember, this train health persists for this entire rail map. So... yeah. I'm clueless, to be honest. I would say just pick a game engine that seems interesting to you and start watching a couple videos and then try to dive deep into it. That's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. So I would say enjoy the process. You know, enjoy the process. Struggling just means there's something for you to learn, and then don't be scared to ask people questions. Okay. Does the book still have a light? Oh, it does. You know what'd be really funny is, like, if the power goes out, like, you don't see any... it becomes hard to read. That'd be so... Oh. Oh, man. Ow! Ow! Oh, fucker. That's kind of scared me. Kind of made me shocked. Damn it, dude. I remember when all you had was a furnace and a toilet. I was quite entertained back then. Now we got all this other bullshit. Yeah, back in the day. Back when the game looked like this. The train looked like that. Oh, back when the hallway looked like that. Oh, peak. Peak. Oh, peak. I remember when this game was born from the idea of 100 floors. That's a different game. That's a different game. That's a whole different game. Damn, how far it's gone, how far it's come. We have to start taking more screenshots. I haven't been taking that many screenshots in a while. The first monster, by the way. Oh my god. Library. Cargo area. I was here when you made the building with the letter hanging off. I think we've got that. I want to say we have a screenshot of that in here. Possibly. No, we don't. Oh, what the fuck? We don't. I thought we did. I might have taken a video of that. This is the fun thing about taking screenshots as you work on stuff. Like, anytime you do any sort of progress stuff, you should take a screenshot. I don't do it as often as I used to. Back when I used to do games, like, in the first few years, dude, I used to take a screenshot of everything. And I feel like it's just so cool seeing everything grow and expand and whatnot. This project, I tried to do it through videos, but... yeah, I haven't been taking that many screenshots. We should take one right now. Screenshot. Let's take a new screenshot here. With the train integrity. Yeah. Yeah, the building with the letter hanging off. The goodbye. The goodbye shop. Goodbye. Yeah, Peter. How come you're working? Today is Saturday. Oh, you know, trying to catch up on work. The goodbye shop. I can't wait to make so there's other shops in other stations, but they just have a different letter hanging off of it. Each one having their own letter hanging off. It's gonna be great. The D and a B used to be a penis. Now it's just a D and a B with 2 dots for some reason, which looks like a face. And then we got snotty guy over here. Snotty shrimp guy. Good times. Does anything in here cost... hold on, we'll just do mother load real quick. There's this as well, where things get sucked into the pipe. This is how you buy items. Snotty shrimp is what they called me in high school? What the hell? That's great. Yeah, high schoolers are fucking... School kids are crazy, man. They're the biggest bullies. How'd you make the pipe effect? It's a sphere mask and then world position offset. I believe it's sphere mask. Sphere mask with world position offset. And then makes banging noises and shit. Alright. Cool. I think I'm good for today. I'm gonna take a little break. Maybe play some Deadlock. Maybe get stressed out. Maybe get really mad at the game. I don't know, you know, that could be fun. I feel like we did a pretty good stream today, though. We got a little bit more of the quota stuff done. Train health is in. We just have to make it so the train health explodes the train. So that's something we need to do. Do I have train health as a task in here? Train health. When reach 0, train should explode and run should end. Okay. I feel like we haven't minused out any tasks from the in progress list. It's just, we're just adding on to it. It's just constantly, here's a new task, here's a new task, here's a new task. Maybe it'd be nice if we, maybe, you know, I don't know. Some of these tasks, maybe they go somewhere else. All right. All right, guys. Prolong the explosion till the end, like before the run ends screen, make it play out. I want to do the whole, like, the screen turns black and you don't hear anything anymore. And then, like, you're just at the station 0 again. You're back to station 0. It's like you're a new employee. It's like nothing ever happened. Was a nice 2-minute stream. Sorry, Peter. It's been like 4 hours. We worked on like a bunch of shit for the gameplay loop. Yeah. But might be live again tomorrow. We'll see if I'm doing anything. So yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. If not, see you on Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. Okay, take care of yourself. Canada lost the World Cup. It's a great day here in Canada. I hope I don't get stabbed if I go outside. That would suck. Anyways, see you guys on Monday or tomorrow. Yeah. All right, bye.